All right, and welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about something that I think students enjoy, which is inductive reasoning. This is chapter 3, section 6. Please have out your guided notes. Let's begin. So by the end of this video, we should be able to understand and use inductive reasoning. Let's go through a couple of examples. So in example 1, on each of the first 6 days Jim attended his geometry class, Mrs. Wong, his geometry teacher, gave a homework assignment. Jim concludes that he will have geometry homework every day he has geometry class because he's exhibiting a pattern. He's seeing, hey, well, these first 6 days I had homework, so I should expect now have homework every time that I have class moving forward. In another example, in the same geometry class, Maria reads the theorem vertical angles are congruent. She notices in a diagram that angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles, so Maria can conclude that angle 1 is going to be congruent to angle 2. So in example number 1, Jim uses inductive reasoning to reach a conclusion. Inductive reasoning is based on several past observations. Conclusions based on inductive reasonings are sometimes, but not always, going to be true. The following class, Mrs. Wong might not give him homework, but he's seeing a pattern. He's saying, hey, maybe I can make a conclusion from here. But in example number 2, Maria uses deductive reasoning to reach a conclusion. Deductive reasoning is based on accepted statements, including previous theorems, postulates, definition, and given information. The conclusion must be true if the hypothesis is true. So Jim uses inductive reasoning. Conclusions are sometimes true, but not always true. But Maria uses deductive reasoning, and the conclusions have to be true. With this, please work on problems 1 through 3 on the guided notes and resume when you're ready to move forward. So very often, reaching a conclusion by using inductive reasoning requires you to observe a pattern just like Jim did. In this example, we're going to look for a pattern and predict the next 2 numbers in each sequence. Sequence A is 81, 27, 9, and 3. Sequence B is 1, 3, 7, 13, 21. So when we go through a solution, let's look at sequence A. Each number is 1/3 of the preceding number. We started with 81, went to 27, went to 9, went to 3. We're going down by a factor of 1/3. So we can multiply each value by 1/3 to then predict what the next 2 numbers are going to be. It's going to be 1 and 1/3 because we ended on 3. So 1/3 times 3 is 1. And then we're at 1, so 1/3 times 1 will be 1/3. And then for B, we're going to look at the differences between the numbers and then continue the pattern. Started at 1, went to 3, went to 7, went to 13, went to 21. Well, to get from 1 to 3, we went by 2. 3 to 7 went by 4. 7 to 13 went by 6. 13, 21, we go by 8. So we can conclude that the next 2 numbers will be 31 and 43. 2, 4, 6, 8. Then we're going to increase by 10. Then we're going to increase by 12. With this, please work on problems 4 through 9 on the guided notes and resume when you're ready to move forward. Now, our last example, we're going to accept the 2 statements as given information. We're going to state a conclusion based on deductive reasoning here. It has to be true. If no conclusion can be reached, we're going to write no conclusion. So A says all cows eat grass. Blossom eats grass. In B, Raphael is taller than Emily. Emily is taller than Dave. We want to write if we are able to deduce anything, and if so, what it's going to be. If we cannot deduce anything, then we're going to write no conclusion. So for A, the solution is no conclusion. We don't know anything about Blossom. We know that Blossom could be a cow, but she might be a goat or a rabbit. All we know is that cows eat grass. Blossom also eats grass, but that doesn't tell us that Blossom is a cow. Blossom can be anything else that eats grass. And in B, Raphael is taller than Emily, and Emily is taller than Dave. So by deductive reasoning, we should be able to conclude that Raphael is taller than Dave, which should make sense because Raphael is taller than Emily, and Emily is taller than Dave. So Raphael, again, should be taller than Dave. Please work on problems 10 through 15 on the guided notes. Great job, Relay Kiddos. Keep making yourself proud. Let us know if you have any questions. Talk to you soon.